Hey, all. DJ Noob is here with you on the Mealtime Radio podcast. Doing my first ever movie review, I guess. Trying my hand at this to see how it goes. I'm not a professional, not near as good as some of the other guys out there, like Samurai or even Sentry and them, but figured I'd give this a whirl for just a quick few minutes. Uh, so I had a chance to check out this. I mean, I'm obviously a big Kaiju fan. For those that know me, Godzilla, Rodan, all the big names and whatnot, and War of the Gargantuans, etc. Uh, so I generally like any kind of like Kaiju films. Um, so I came across this film today. I believe it was on Midnight Pulp on the app on a Roku, and it's called War of the God Monsters. And apparently, from the description on Wikizilla, it's basically a 1985 monster film that was essentially lost, like the footage. So I don't even know really how much of what I just watched was actually supposed to be the film, because they make reference to some of the footage coming from the Ultraman series, which I never got to see as a kid or anything. I know nothing else, nothing about that except for the character of Ultraman, knowing that he fights some monsters. Now, for those of you who are in the know, you may recognize some of these monster names that are in the one I would give you is Pestar, Varocron, Sigarath, Bemstar, Cherichilis, Dorgon, Giant Dragons, etc. So basically, the premise of this film is we have three main characters. Dr. Kim, played by Kim Ki-joo, Kang Okee, played by Namhai Gyeong. I'm probably butchering her name, so my apologies for that. And then the little girl Sohee, played by Kim Da-hai. And Dr. Kim apparently is this scientist who's been kind of like either he's forced into solitude because he has a theory that monsters are going to end up coming back from being frozen in the ice over the ages, years and whatnot, and cause destruction on Earth. He bases this upon finding goldfish that are frozen that once they unfreeze, they come alive and do their thing. And so he's been sort of just self-banishing himself to this little island, I guess, and with this little girl, Sohee, who is just, I'm going to get to her in a minute, but Kang Okee, who is on her way, she's actually the first person that we see traveling by bus to the location where Dr. Kim is, and she poses as his housekeeper to basically try to get a story. She's a reporter that we find out a little bit later on. Really don't know her intentions because it's so weird. It's like this weird game between her and Dr. Kim for a while, to where literally like they're scaring each other, and I don't know what the purpose is. Don't know it. No idea. Really don't know. That's this. The problem is, however they put this movie together, the editing is like crazy bad. So after a while, we spend like an hour. Okay, we spend like a full hour going back and forth between the little girl, and apparently Dr. Kim's wife had passed away. So there's all this drama with the little girl and that. But we go back and forth between the little girl and her bipolar changes between crying 1 second and also, oh, look at that. It's like almost like Squirrel, you know? And then we go to Dr. Kim, who's been like walking all over this island at first, totally oblivious to the giant footprints that he's literally walking by. Like he just doesn't notice them till later on. So we spent like a good hour just going through all the family drama between the issues between Dr. Kim and Kang Okee, whatever game they're playing, who knows. So this film was released in 1985 and then released on apparently DVD, or as Kevin said, that they put it on a Blu-ray, I guess, earlier this year, January, I guess. So I don't know how legit that is, but he mentioned it in a post that I made on Facebook. So obviously, if you're a collector, you might want this. I'm just going to give you a rundown of what I thought of it. To me, really, the biggest thing is the little girl. Like when we talk about certain Kaiju movies and kids who were in them, like I literally want a monster to eat this girl so bad. Just want to eat her. Get her off the screen, please. Get off my screen. She is highly annoying. Terrible, just terrible. Can't get over how terrible. What else we got? Oh yeah, so all right, so about after an hour, we start getting to where the monsters finally start showing up, and all of a sudden, everyone starts believing Dr. Kim. Oh yeah, he was right. You know, of course, we don't get a whole lot of that because it's still just going all over the place editing wise. We really don't get any. Even the doctor friend he has, that Dr. Kim has another friend who's been spending years just kind of teasing him about his belief that monsters are going to come back. His friend ends up being crushed by a building that's been smashed by a monster. And so there's like this like sad scene with Dr. Kim and his friend. And I'm just like, okay, did we even see that scene? I don't remember him even being in the scene dying. Yeah, it just happened. So, I don't know. It's so crazy. But the monsters start showing up about an hour after the film starts. And ironically, they're all just kind of coming out of the water. Like, none of them, like, even the flying ones are coming out of the water. Like, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. They just all come out of the ocean. It doesn't matter. And they just keep rising one by one. So one will come up, and then these military jets that come out of nowhere. Like I don't think we ever saw any clips of the actual military men, you know, sending these jets out to fight. We just have a bunch of planes coming at these guys, and then they kill Juan's monster. And then there's even a point where the little girl is talking to the reporter chick, and she's like, "Oh yeah, these monsters, they don't care about fire. It doesn't hurt them." And then, like, literally 10 seconds later, one of the monsters dies by fire. It's fucking hilarious. I'm like, holy shit. The Triceratops looking monster that's out there was kind of funny because whereas the other monsters sort of had like their own growls and voice and whatnot, this one sounded like a chimpanzee. I'm like, it was really kind of bad. Couldn't get over that. We did have an appearance by Green Manda. Yeah, we have a Green Manda in this. Not gold, Green Manda. And guess where he came from? The ocean. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. And then, like, the film, literally, just after we've gone through the monsters, like, there's just no more. Like, we have, you know, the reporter and the little girl on one part of the island, and Dr. Kim on the other. They're trying to find each other because of all the chaos. Like, yeah, I don't know. Finally, when they get to the end, okay, the little girl who's been bawling and crying the entire time for daddy, finally he's like, found daddy. And then literally again, her bipolar kicks in and she's like, oh, how about you make reporter's sister over there my mommy? And then she goes, talks to the sister, the reporter, and is like, would you like to be Sohee's mommy? And that's how it ends. Yeah. So never mind all the fucking bullshit we just went through with a bunch of monsters and all the destruction and chaos. It's important that we have reporter girl as our mommy, new mommy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I know it wasn't as detailed as it could be, but trust me, there's not much detail in this film. Hopefully you'll enjoy this little brief review. Grant, again, if you're a kaiju movie collector, it's probably worth it to get it just to say I have it. It's not a very good film. I've seen bad kaiju films before, but this one cuts the cake. Yeah, it's really fucking bad. Anywho, take care of yourselves. Quick thing, next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, DJ News Me, DJ Neko will be a guest on Fast Samurai Guy's channel to do a versus episode. I don't think he's released yet, so we'll get around to that when he sets that loose. But we are going to be guests on that again. Maybe he has set it up. Yeah, he did. He did. In fact, it's Creepshow versus Tales from the Hood, and that's one of Neko's favorite films. So we're going to dive into that and review that with some other panel guests like we did yesterday, and hope you all enjoy it. So take care of yourselves. Keep it brutal. Metal it up.